Weasel working on Melvin Eli. Turns the other way.
First quarter, Miami's just been keeping these at arm's length, and Crystal
Can play in the NBA, and now it's just a question of consistently getting in time.
Yeah, a little longer than usual. O'Neal. That should have been
play. I've seen intensity, and I've seen guys having fun playing basketball. That's a big ticket to success.
Especially when you get 8 1/4 like they did the third quarter.
Shaq.
O'Neal backing his way on Ben Wallace.
In a while. His game has really been coming. O'Neal, two teams.
Game situations, as you can see. Here's Shaquille O'Neal once again. O'Neal with Leitner and Butler up front, and
forcing Chicago to take jump shots.
Shaq barreling in. He got the bucket and the foul. 11 for 16 shooting.
Well, we told those are the three guys that we showed at the.
Beat ahead by 16. Twice they led by 20, and look out below.
Despite that.
If you had a blindfold and then look at the scoreboard, you'd never believe the
season missing the 2 free throws. Drop step by
on this opening quarter here in Miami. Over the head of Dropniak, and the shot, look out!
Get a shot at our statistician.
Yeah, but it is great to see this crowd. If you see Shaq.
Here's Shaq. He's having difficulty with his headset, and the microphone is not working as discussed earlier. Here goes Shaq to the basket, and they were down by as many as 22. Here's O'Neal.
Wood staying right there with Jackson.
Here's Shaq. Oh, what a Butler to Shaq. And Bradley is there. One of the game's all-time great shot blockers. Shaq. Oh, Mavericks have won 13 of their last 18. Shaq.
It's Shaq again. Oh, what a quick spin move on the
dribble, create the mismatch, and then make the play in paint. Starters in this game not drafted: Wesley, Damon Jones, and Haslam.
Struggled to hold Detroit down, but a couple of good possessions there. As
the game here tonight.
Telegraph out there. What a spot.
O'Neal inside.
Get a body on your man outside the perimeter area there.
Shaq in the low post, turns baseline, dumps it home.
Here's Shaquille O'Neal again, demanding the ball
when he scored 25 points. Shaq
foul, so Nuggets can make their free throws down the stretch. Shaq fouls.
O'Neal has it. O'Neal running to the goal, slam dunk, and he's down low to O'Neal. Scores and he's front. No sign of Hack-a-Shaq. A sign of that, though. Size Lawler's Law. First to 100 wins. They're up 101-97. O'Neal score.
Wade's got 2 points. Miami is 1 of 4 inside.
After a miss, and they go. Looks like they go to the 1-2-2 zone after a made basket.
Oh, great look at him right back in the Shaq. Nice look. And look out below. Shaq goes to work on Collier. Look out.
I'm trying to see the game here. George Shin standing right in front of me, so I hope that he blocks my
Shaq
this year with Haslam. Wow.
Plenty. Here's Shaq. Look out.
Has cut that lead down to 1. O'Neal with a quick move.
5 on the shot clock as Shaq gets to work. Puts it up and in.
They haven't gotten the support from their teammates, and he grew good.
They'll load Shaq.
At the break.
Here goes Shaq in low left.
Powers up on 2. Jones feeding the post. Robinson gets his crack. Drop step. O'Neal.
In the Shaq, one-on-one coverage from Fortune. Takes the flop and take that.
As you would like.
A 15-6 surge for Golden State. O'Neal!
Shaq getting position on Grant. It kept 59. 5.5 left in the third. Shaq with a beautiful.
He's been lifted from the starting lineup and mixed reviews. And
here's O'Neal getting down deep. Shaq gets inside.
There's O'Neal. Hayward on him. Stays with him.
There's O'Neal powering his way.
For 62 of Miami's 99 points. And the big
man in the NBA, to see him bounce back and play so well.
Oh!
Shaq backs in and powers up. Point shooting, both teams with a high percentage. O'Neal.
O'Neal once again a run. Shaq has been able to get off early in every game. He does what Fielding does. They collapse on O'Neal.
And they have a lot of confidence in their comeback ability.
Oh, Shaq got. He can.
Yes. Actually, I think just one, if I'm not.
Here's Shaq on the lean in for. And this is a team coming in at 42%, next to last in the end.
Defending on Damon Jones. They get it to Shaq again.
Lead is 10 with just over 8 minutes to left in the third quarter.
That's when he starts really working the glass.
Shaq.
Chicago. It'll be tight all the way in the East. And we are deadlocked at 51. O'Neal. Oh, what a move.
Greater player.
Something was wrong last year as O'Neal gets inside easy.
Guys who are 7 feet who can block shots, and they have to work on their jumper.
Pick or a top 10 pick at any point in that draft. Get 8 of the top 10 and played for.
Lorenzen Wright guarding O'Neal. Big question, would the Grizzlies
Shooting start here. Eddie Jones inside. Shaq for 2.
Damon Jones in Indiana Thursday went 5 of 5 from 3 years. This is Shaq using the drop step. He's originally from Newark, New Jersey. Shaq to the rim. O'Neal pushed by Dampier. Spins away from the double, lays it in.
O'Neal.
See, Shaq will take his time. He'll check the cutters.
You can see he's gaining more and more confidence down there on the block.
Off the fake, he goes Steve Nash.
Shaq one-on-one, help from Wallace, and they need.
Stan Van Gundy did not like that at all.
And Shaq going to try to take matters into his own hands. He lays it up.
Blocks where he can wheel and put his shoulder into the chest.
Outs down.
And this Shaquille O'Neal trying to take over outside. Very frigid here in Toronto. Good to have you with us on Sports.
By Fred Jones.
10 on the shot clock for Shaq.
And he said, look, you've got to, it tests your character when you're not playing the best teams in the league.
Back to Shaq. Rolling hook is up.
Script. And to Shaq, he's got great position. And he scored.
O'Neal against Kaman. He has 2 fouls. Running to the O'Neal. And jive battering.
Here's Shaq underneath. Going up top for the dunk. Miami looking for their 14th win in a row. The Diesel doesn't.
So they can't set up any defense. He gets just to go right at him.
Oh,
Josh Smith, the rookie, guarding Eddie Jones. Shaq out of a double team. Look out. Oh, he is.
back to Shaq. Court. Shaq.
Damon Jones. Inside Shaq, double team comes, and Shaq goes to work. 5:40 left here in the ball game. Shaq! Oh!
Confidence right now is a major issue.
No doubt.
Eddie Jones guarded by Shane Battier. Shaq wheels in. Their playoff hopes on life support right now.
Yes, it is. You know, they're playing the best teams. You can
This year, matter of fact, they're 0-7 without Kirilenko the last 2 years. Opposition point guard by over 10 points a game, 11 times. And again today about their effort. And he said he talked to his team and their center defending Shaq. And the daddy goes right outside the Shaq with 5 on the shot clock. On Blunt, turns and lays.
Got to make it to make the night end happily.
Shaquille
Took over for TJ Ford a year ago here. Night.
Double team was late. O'Neal getting everybody involved. Santiago on him now. Easy 2.
Jones. And right back to the Diesel, who makes that
Tonight, it's spelled doom for Cleveland.
Oh, nice play.
what happened on the West Coast. Little things that you do pretty well, but then
in field goal percentage, free throw attempts, and points in the paint. And
Van Gundy have a great coaching record. He's got 32. He's got Shaq.
45%. And the Crows defending Shaq can't defend that.
And it just wears on you. That's why Miami shoots 48%. Some of it is just more playing time, but a lot of it is Kevin McHale saying, look, we need you in there.
Kevin McHale said the T-Wolves are a fragile team.
Felt like he had to make the change.
Here is O'Neal. Here's Shaq.
Done Jermaine O'Neal and Paige Stojakovic, guys who have been mentioned as MVP candidates before Chris came back.
So it's not the defensive pressure. Here's Shaq
Against them
Yes,
so
the
far.
Heat averaging 109 on 52% shooting, and they've out-rebounded the Wizards.
Throwback.
Dallas has been spectacular, shooting threes tonight, 7 of 9. Shaq.
Minutes to go, first half. O'Neal single coverage. Now Marbury comes to help. Too little.
Punishment problem. You hate to have those kind of problems. Detroit going with the single coverage. O'Neal making contact is doing. O'Neal backing Collins and scores.
With 5:23 left in the third. Shaq hits the.
O'Neal watches the cutters and then makes the move on Pollard.
Jones double team. Shot clock at 5. O'Neal turns and hits.
2-6. Single coverage right now with Kirk Thomas. Big man is focused now, folks. He is
An emotional player.
Here is O'Neal.
Washington team. He can score inside on Eddie Jones.
O'Neal getting
Who can use 6 fouls against Shaquille O'Neal.
shot clock down to 4. O'Neal.
teams that we have in the league defensively. Wizards can be a little wild. They went through a lot of stretches like that in the playoffs against the pressuring them full court. Make them work. Make them work. O'Neal
Playing like a second or third year player. Pollard guarding Shaq.
nice.
Tweaking that ankle, so they've got to figure out a way to make sure in that second half of the season he stays healthy.
And as we mentioned earlier, Damon Jones comes into the court to practice. Was a good idea by Stan Van Gundy.
Shaquille O'Neal hits. Shaquille O'Neal, 16 points and 11 rebounds. Working against the rookie.
Collapse on O'Neal. There's Shaq going.
78. Shaq muscles in now. Shoots the.
There is O'Neal.
At this point at all.
O'Neal 3. O'Neal guarded by McDyess. Goes right out.
It's the ball. He's going to put a move on Lauren Woods.
Coming off that high pick and roll.
Shaq body to body with Willis for the hook.
Travis come alive. There you see the double team on O'Neal.
And Miami's tightened up their perimeter defense, doing a better job.
By the end of the third quarter. Repost on Shaq, shot clock at 1, and
O'Neal facing a double here at the start. Now here is Shaq with it. O'Neal going left. O'Neal, what? O'Neal playing with the 2 fouls. And again, beginning of the first quarter. O'Neal try to go glass and 6.
Good, the bad, and ugly that goes with learning in the NBA.
The Pistons have scored 7 of the last 8. There's Shaquille.
There's O'Neal. Conference. Final series. Shaq off a drop step. Detroit going with the single coverage. Again, single coverage on O'Neal. You see Prince come over to help. And back to that second quarter for Detroit. O'Neal for 3 from downtown in game 3. Crowd watch Shaq to go right at Ben Wallace. And
See New England Patriots. He'd go back to work. Shaq's jump hook. Center Lauren Woods, who was with the club a year ago. Shaq against the double team. Over the top of Woods. 2 fouls. O'Neal against Ruffin.
Than the Heat is for them.
Under 5 minutes left, first half. The Diesel wheels factor in this first half. And good that you noted that, Tony. 17 and 9 rebounds. Dwayne Wade has 16. Fourth left. Shaq against Dropniak in the middle. He loves it. Ahead of the New York Knicks with 4:38 left. First half. Shaq
And takes. Eddie Jones is right there to contest it.
Foyle already pushing and bumping with O'Neal, who turns for the hook.
So the Heat have Shaq, Dwayne.
Go with the hack of Shaq strategy.
well, Paul Silas says he does not believe in it. Shot clock down to 6. O'Neal first half. O'Neal. Yes. O'Neal.
Here's Shaq got it.
A good play. Eddie Jones gets the ball into Shaq O'Neal. They score and get fouled.
Onyx lead Miami by 5. 5:25 left, third quarter. Shaq wheels in.
With Bill Walton, Mike Breen on hand. As O'Neal across the lane.
Miami has led from the start. They've led by as many as 10. Here is O'Neal.
Over 50% in the first round, shooting over 50% today.
Shaq on a turnaround.
Michigan.
Nice move there.
Seattle. You don't see it this year. I think they're better off for it, but
Jones dumps into O'Neal. Shaq draws a crowd, but he's still.
Detroit is making shots, and if you don't make shots, then it's tough to defend. Shaq
Hamilton cheating over on Shaq. Now single covered and right back. O'Neal again. O'Neal played by Robinson. Here's O'Neal.
The game.
They're 8 for 16 from beyond that three-point line.
Jones back to Shaq. The baby.
Shaq. Conference, Miami clinched the best record in the East. They're the #1 seed. Here comes Shaq into Mark Jackson.
10 points, 6 assists for Damon Jones tonight as Shaq maneuvers into the lane for the
Much earlier than I do.
Shaq's hook drop. Here's Shaq again, pumping with no call. The Diesel against Danielle Marshall.
Bouncing it into O'Neal. Hayward's done a nice job on Shaq to this point.
Shaq across the lane and double.
With 3.5 minutes to go, second quarter. Shaq, yes! Bouncing for the Diesel. Guarded by Sweeter. The hook we call the Heat's house. 10-point Heat lead. Shaquille O'Neal rolls.
O'Neal, double team.
Earlier tonight. Here's O'Neal against Kristich. Double-double. Here's Shaq coming in for the hook. Conference finals a year ago. 1-point Heat lead. The Diesel with a jumper. Bucket to take the lead. Shaq does it. 14 left him again. O'Neal. Power move in the middle. It dropped.
Teammates, you got to live with that.
2 to shoot. Shaq over Pollard.
Now, cut hard and you'll get the pass.
O'Neal.
Bina Akizi defending Shaquille O'Neal. Akizi playing on his second 10-day contract with a nice tall shot glass of Theraflu. Shaquille O'Neal.
3. Shaquille O'Neal again. This is his favorite play. It's called the 5
earlier this season. Here comes Shaq against P.J. Brown. Shaq with a jump hook.
Hoping that they can physically get him back and right. They go inside and back inside.
Getting up all his rebounds right there on that device. Ronnie. Primoz Brezec bumping with Shaq.
And Shaq against Miller. Nice Haslam with Jones and Shaq dueling in the backcourt.
18 feet.
Kings have led by 17. Miami is led by 6.
But you fuel the fast break of the other team. That's what's going on in this game so far.
Magic already with 7. Shaq turns middle, hits the. In the Shaq against Tony Battie.
Something that Buzdelic does not like to use a lot.
They try again with O'Neal. And gets
laboring offensively. And it's Shaquille O'Neal double on the ball. And his jump baby
up 7 in the span of less than 7 minutes. Shaq.
They go to him again. And he turns.
Make the playoffs without those two guys. If they can get him back, they could be dangerous.
Coaching clinic for an example of your team hustling back defensively. 6 to shoot. Here he goes.
Kerr, Craig Sager were in Miami. O'Neal spinning off in the fourth quarter. O'Neal.
Jones feeding the big fella. How about that?
Remember what Van Gundy told us this evening, that his team has gotten off the slow start.
I think he'll make the adjustment having Shaq.
Yeah, I think he'll accept that, by the way, and it does hurt them not having Dwayne Wade play. And
Shaq wheeling.
This Wizards leads tonight. It's a 10-point game. Shaq turns baseline and hit.
They drop the ball into Shaq, and then he comes back to right above 30% now at 30.6 as O'Neal tries to make it 8.
On Wallace. Shaq backs his way. Here is O'Neal. Again, it's O'Neal against Ben Wallace. And single coverage. Wallace leaning on O'Neal. Here's Shaq spinning and scores.
Oh, what a... Donald Foyle, single coverage on the Diesel, who turns for the jump. Montgomery telling us before the game he's already lost more this year than he did the last.
9 on the shot clock for O'Neal against Pollard.
Gill has been shooting the ball.
Diesel turns.
Butler and O'Neal going at Ilgauskas with the drop.
Left in this game. The only offense has really come from that guy.
A good solid game.
Miami's still down by 8 points as Shaq comes across and hit
Open the stats. The coaches love them and give you a lot of minutes on the floor.
O'Neal.
Got it. Stay in New York every night here in Miami feels like a party for Miami.
Miami with the best record in the East. They're 50-16 here. 6 hits again. Shaq putting the move on Johnson. Yes.
Shaq wheeling.
For as well as anyone in the league.
O'Neal this time on the right block.
For 6th slot in the Western Conference. Here is O'Neal.
Is on Damon Jones.
See how the Heat are opening up the court to isolate Shaq.
Coach Van Gundy, Eric, over to you.
I guess that message has been received by the Heat. They
Don't like to operate that much on, so this is a different kind of a move for him. Thanks to
halfway through this first quarter. This is O'Neal, and that is a jump.
O'Neal goes outside a little.
Youngster coming in, he asked him to do just limited things. Get the ball in the right spot, run the show, good decisions.
O'Neal getting position.